What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Poor Investor. Today we're going to be going over this Chia forum post that I found pretty interesting. It's pretty long, pretty lengthy, and it has a lot of information that it was requesting because it was saying that Chia is too complicated. I do not disagree with this person, and I did find it in the way in the beginning of starting Chia. It was very difficult and very confusing, especially with all these things that were taking place. Everything was brand new and people were like, it just started and it's just adapting. There were no pools originally, and we had these OG plots, which was pretty annoying, right? Because a lot of you guys who've been around for the last year in Chia had these original OG plots, plotting it to the hard drives as you were buying extra storage, and then pools came out and they said you have to replot. I thought that was one of the most messed up things during that time. The positive thing to that was that it happened way in the beginning before we actually started buying more hard drives, even though during that time it was when it was booming with the hard drive prices skyrocketing and people were just buying it like left and right, crazy, externals, internals, used, new, whatever it was, right? We're gonna go over that Chia forum post, and I'm going to point something out that I thought that there is a decent amount of information. It's not like they're saying that there's not enough information out there, but there's not a lot of updated information. Now, I tend not to redo videos like repeating myself that I did a year ago on how to set up a harvester, or maybe I should, I don't know. I just don't find it really intriguing or useful to constantly put out the same videos over and over again, but I'll go over the ones I'm talking about. Before we begin, the price of XCH is $42.17, is down negative 1.14%, and so far holding up in this $40 range. Every day I've been checking it, and I know a lot of you guys are like, I don't need to check the price every day, but I do. And you know what, as long as the price has been in this range, I have not seen anyone tweet about, oh, XCH price is going up today or this week. It has been pretty static ever since the hype of the NFT 1 launch has died down a little bit. So going on to crypto bubble, like I said, negative 1.6%. We are ranked 153. The rank is going back down. It was at 150 at one point, doing pretty well. A lot of these cryptos are popping back up in the greens. There was a time 2 weeks ago that it was all deep red bloodbath. Pretty heart-wrenching if you had a lot of money in different exchanges, especially the ones that went bankrupt. And I'm talking about, exchanges like Voyager and Celsius. If you had money in there and you couldn't take it out anymore, I feel for you. Luckily, I never had that type of money in any of those exchanges. And it just goes to show that, no matter what or how much you have involved in crypto, download your coins and keep it off the exchanges, because those are the risks that we run into, especially now they're trying to put regulations to protect the individual retail investors like yourself and I, but that is not in place right now. So whatever money you have in there, it's gone. I don't think Chia will be looked at any differently, even though they're not in exchange, but they are still holding that pre-farm, and that pre-farm will be treated in a special way. So only time can tell how that's going to work out. Today I wanted to go over a few things, but let's go over what Bram has been tweeting lately. And I kind of got confirmation from a sit down, not me personally, but I was watching a sit down from Chia from China, sitting down with Richard Xiao from Chia team, announcing or saying that potentially Bram is, working on this poker game, and he has been tweeting about this pretty often. It's still speculative of what this game is actually going to be from Bram. I don't know. Lately, Bram has been tweeting a lot about chess. So between poker and chess is probably, I'm thinking, the two games that are going to be on chain with the Chia network. But at the same time, they also said in this sit down with Richard was that Chia themselves will only support other developers in creating these games, but they wouldn't host or create the games themselves. So I'm not too sure how that's supposed to work. That's a question we can find out more about, because next week on Friday, July 29th, they're going to have another AMA, and this is your opportunity to submit questions in regards to that. Any additional questions that you may have in regards to the Chia project. Some of the things that they've actually announced that they probably haven't delivered on, you can ask some questions about that. But most likely at this point in time, and they have you know, kind of bit themselves in the butt one time or another. They would not elaborate more on information that they don't know or hasn't gone public yet. They don't want to put speculation out there to the public for a project to be announced, like, you know, how we all knew about the Project Asteroids, even though there was like 2 instances of Project Asteroids, which was pretty confusing at the time. Let's go over to the Chia forum. What I wanted to point out more specifically today is, why is it so complicated to use a second PC to plot and farm Chia? I would say in the early stages a year ago, it was very complicated, but now I think there is so much more resources and so much more information and videos out there to assist on this that it shouldn't be as complicated as it used to. In this post, I'm not going to read it word for word. What they were saying is complicated, and why is Chia so like fascinated with the command line interfaces, saying it's, you know, obviously better and faster, but at the same time they're developing it on a GUI base and trying to target it, making it more easier for the non-technical people to get into Chia. You know, I read into this whole thing, and I'll post up this specific link to this post, and it made sense. Like, I can see his frustration, especially saying right off the bat that he is not a computer illiterate, meaning he's not, you know, like, that's not his profession or whatever it is. Not everyone's gonna come out being a programmer or a hardware tech to understand all this. So I highlighted this paragraph because I wanted to point out this frustration this person has, because I thought I addressed this. If I didn't, or it's irrelevant now, you guys have to let me know. So let's go over this paragraph right now. I'm a simple man. I just want to use a effing second computer to plot with. Harvester, is that what it is? The instructions for setting up a harvester are enough to give anyone a headache. And a second computer that I want to plot from called a harvester, most videos don't mention harvester when they show you how to use a second computer to plot with. Maybe somebody should take the term harvester behind the barn and shoot it. I was trying to understand that more specifically, thinking like he just hasn't come across a video that depicts what a harvester is or how to set up a harvester. And yes, you can use a harvester to plot. You know, I have done it where my farmer is farming and plotting at the same time, where my harvester is also farming to the farmer, right, the harvester, and it's plotting on its own. So there is that capability. So I'm assuming that's what this, you know, post is trying to get at. And to really just satisfy that particular paragraph, I did a harvester video back in May 11, 2021, and how to harvester in 8 steps. There's a 659 likes, there's 18,000 views. So I thought that was pretty sufficient in explaining. Now, if you didn't come across this video to set up a harvester, then maybe you should check this out. But for me to do another video, maybe the algorithm hasn't really been pushing this out as much anymore, so it's probably not coming up on the searches as much when people are checking, you know, looking for Chia harvesters, but it's there. I will definitely respond to this post. I felt like this individual was very frustrated and not having easier information. It is something that you have to search for. He went on pretty lengthy about the information that he felt like it's not sufficient with Chia, and it's pretty complicated. And I'll be really honest, it is very complicated, especially for the guys who have been doing this for a little while, and which is probably majority of us has been around for the last year. But as we get newcomers coming in, they're confused with these terms, right? If you mention OG plot to someone, they'll be like, what the hell are you talking about? Or if you mention harvester and farmer, they still don't know the terminology because the terms are not as popular as GPU miners, and the vast majority of video content creators focus on GPU mining opposed to Chia farming like myself. I just wanted to come on and explain all that, and I really appreciate the person who donated 0.5 XCHs to my wallet, and I thank you so much. Please remember to hit that like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.